Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Adventurous Media. Today, I wanted to talk about why Warner Bros. Rejected the offer from Paramount. It is a little interesting, so I'm going to go into it. I'm also going to explain what Netflix's role in acquiring Warner Bros. Could do to their physical media using some past knowledge of other mergers from other studios. So if we take a look here, if we take a look, Warner Bros. Discovery, they rejected the Paramount offer of $30 per share, which was $2.25 higher than Netflix's original offer of the $27.75. And primarily due to the massive financial risks involved, Paramount's bid requires almost over $50 billion in new debt. That's on top of Warner's existing obligations, which would create a ridiculous $87 billion total debt load. That would be the largest leveraged buyout in history. Basically meaning that Paramount doesn't have this money at the moment, so they would just be going into crazy amounts of debt to acquire Warner Bros. And the Warner Bros. Board, they even highlighted the financing uncertainty, noting that lenders would be hesitant to even give this amount of money. They would have to prove that this makes sense for them to do, and it could derail the deal entirely. And unlike Netflix's stronger balance sheet and investment grade credit rating, because of all of the positive things and positive directions, as well as probably the stock price of Netflix as well, they see it as a more viable option. Uh, the rejection also accounts for catastrophic fallout from a failed Paramount deal, including a $2.8 billion breakup fee to Netflix, plus a $1.5 billion in debt fees, totaling $4.7 billion, which is almost $2 per share. Paramount's smaller $14 billion market cap, attempting a $94.65 billion acquisition, really amplifies the risks associated with this deal. While Warner would face 12 to 18 months of operational paralysis, being unable to refinance all of that debt or complete its Discovery spinoff. These issues further eroded confidence with Paramount, who was accused of breaching confidentiality and making litigation threats to uh, Netflix and Warner Bros. For them taking the deal. You know, at the end of the day, Warner's board prioritized certainty over nominal price, viewing Netflix as delivering superior value at greater levels of certainty, despite regulatory hurdles being similar for both deals. Even Paramount's revisions, like Larry Ellison's guarantee, failed to address key flaws, such as refusing to cover Netflix's fee or easing business restrictions. So, if we move into the Netflix Warner Bros. Deal and what could happen if Netflix actually, acquires them, they announced the total amount for the acquisition of Warner Bros. To be around $83 billion. This merger is still pending at the moment because of the stuff with Paramount. And, Warner Bros. Has been one of the last major studios that has been fully committed to physical media, probably more so than almost any other studio. It includes its Warner Archive collection that restores those classic films and releases on limited 4K titles. Netflix, who is not known for putting out any physical media, they completely abandoned their physical media in 2023. And, that's when they ended their rental service after about 25 years. And they are very popular for not releasing their own content on physical media. If they do, They'll skip a couple of seasons or wait years and years between seasons. So it really doesn't seem like they care too much for physical media. Physical media overall has been on a decline. If we look back, if we take a real step back, we go to 2005. We have DVD sales peaking at $16 billion in the US. And if we fast forward to 2023, that number has gone to just 1.56 billion. In 2024, we have physical media revenue falling below $1 billion for the first time, dropping almost 24% from the previous year, which is quite a bit. This represents a staggering 93% decline from the 2005 peak. Physical media is now accounting for only less than 2% of total home video revenue, while subscription streaming dominates at 91%, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. If we look at a past merger here, if we look at Disney acquiring 20th Century Fox, they completed that deal for about $71 billion back in March of 2019. The impact on physical media was almost immediate, and it was very devastating. By August 2020, Disney had halted all 4K Ultra HD catalog releases for the entire 20th Century Studios library. Classic films like Fight Club, The French Connection, Aliens, and True Lies were indefinitely shelved from getting 4K releases. Disney made the strategic decision to focus on building the Disney Plus catalog instead of continuing physical media production for Fox's vast catalog. The 20th Century Fox brand, which had been releasing physical media for decades, essentially disappeared from the physical media market within 18 months of the merger, which is not a good sign for the acquisition by Netflix of Warner Bros. So if we look at a year-by-year breakdown, I did tell you about the 2005, the $16 billion. But if we look more recently at, let's say, 2018, you have about 2.2 billion in physical media sales. 2019, the year of the Disney Fox merger, 2 billion. 2020, you got approximately 1.7 billion. Disney halted the Fox catalog releases then, and you also had the other stuff going on in 2020, so that could be a part of it as well. 2021, there was an even larger drop off, down to 1.5 billion. And then 2022, for the first half of the year, you had about 1 billion. And then in 2023, you had 1.5 billion. So it kind of shot up a little bit, or maintained. And then you have 2024, it's sitting a little below a billion, which is down almost 24% from 2023. So this actually represents a decline of about 15 to 20% year over year, with the steepest drops occurring after major mergers, as well as when Best Buy basically stopped selling physical media in their stores and online in 2024. So Warner Bros. Currently, they maintain several physical media initiatives that set it apart from competitors. The Warner Archive Collection, which regularly releases all these restored classics, on Blu-ray, 4K, often in themed actor or genre collections. And then, they price them around like $35 usually for the 4 to 6 films. Warner Archive began releasing select catalog titles in 4K HD with HDR and Dolby Vision, starting with The Searchers. Warner Bros. Also licenses its extensive catalog to the boutique labels as well. Arrow Video, Criterion, Shout Factory, which basically ensures titles receive the premium treatment. Recent releases in 2024 include major titles such as, Dune Part 2 and the Minecraft movie. What Netflix brings to the table or doesn't bring to the table. Like I mentioned before, they discontinued their DVD rental service in 2023, and the company has shown virtually no interest in releasing its original content, whether that be movies, TV shows, onto physical media, with only a small handful of exceptions for high profile directors like Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein or extremely popular show Stranger Things. But with the Stranger Things, I mean, they're still making you wait such a long time before they actually put that out in total or any of the seasons. I think it's only been season 2 or 3 that they're up to on physical media right now, and then they haven't put out anything since then. Netflix's entire business model centers on streaming. So, they want those subscribers watching on the platform. They don't want you owning the physical copies because then they lose all of their subscriber base. The company is near total absence of classic cinema. You almost don't see it anywhere in their streaming catalog. And, it's hard to believe that they'll include that stuff if they buy Warner Bros. So if we take a look at what could possibly happen using the trends from the Disney and Fox merger, we could probably extrapolate this out a little bit. I did for 2027, 2028, and 2029. These are just my personal guesses of what could happen in the future. If we take a look at 2027, we have Warner Archive Collection releases drop from approximately 40 to 50 titles per year, and that's going to go down to 10 to 15 titles in the year. The 4K catalog releases are discontinued entirely. They're not even going to bother with that. Physical media revenue from Warner titles is about 150 to 200 million within that year. And licensing agreements with boutique labels begin expiring without renewal. So I don't see Netflix wanting to re-up those. I don't think they have any incentive to do that. 2028, we have new theatrical releases. They get the limited physical editions only. Basically major blockbuster films, that would be about it. They'll probably discontinue the Warner Archive Collection in 2028. Physical media revenue from Warner titles now down below the 100 million mark. And then you have an estimated, I would say probably 15 physical releases total for the year. Down from the 100 plus pre-merger because of the Warner Archive Collection. And then if we take a jump to 2029, we're looking at only the top franchises receiving those physical releases. So now we're going even lower with maybe 6 or 7 titles annually. You have the catalog titles become streaming exclusive on Netflix. Physical media revenue is now down below $50 million because of their cut of physical media. And then you have the Warner Bros. Home entertainment division downsized or absorbed into the Netflix operations. So if we take a wider look at what this consolidation does, it follows a pattern where streaming first companies completely eliminate the physical media infrastructure after acquisitions. If we look at Batman Begins, it was a modest box office performer, but generated massive DVD sales that justified the green lighting of The Dark Knight. We have Warner Bros. Co-chairs Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi admitted they're now working without a net, without that DVD revenue stream. If Netflix proceeds as Disney did with Fox, a century of Warner Bros. Film history, including all of the more niche, the film noir, the classic westerns, the golden age of Hollywood, could become streaming only, accessible only as long as Netflix decides to host them. Physical media collectors and film preservationists have reason to be deeply concerned about this merger and its impact on movie history preservation. And you also have to think when it comes to Netflix, they have they are known for removing stuff that people actually watch from their service without any kind of rhyme or reason. And then it may be put up months and months later again, but we don't actually know when that might happen. So when it comes to the Warner Bros. And Netflix merger, I would say keep somewhat positive, but it's hard to actually feel like they will do the right thing and continue to release the physical media. But we can hope. We can hope. It's just it's sad that they can't be bought by somebody else uh, who has an interest in sustaining and keeping up the idea of physical media. But maybe Netflix will change their mind. Who knows? Or maybe they'll change their focus on subscription only to including this 4K Blu-ray revenue as well, or just renewing with boutique labels, which could be very helpful for the physical media market. But I don't see where Netflix would be incentivized to do that, unfortunately. But one can hope. I can hope so. If you guys have any comments or if you want to share your thoughts down below, go ahead and do that. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.